"You've always been a burden," my mother said. And in that moment, I realized I had been apologizing for my existence my entire life. "You've always been a burden," my mother said, staring at the empty plate in front of me as if I were the most inconvenient thing at the table. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. The words landed heavy and final, and something inside me broke quietly. That was when I understood who was hurting me, what she truly thought of me, and why nothing I did would ever be enough. I tried to laugh, pretended it was a joke. She kept eating, as if she hadn't just taken me apart from the inside. My father stayed silent. He always did. His silence hurt almost as much as her words. In the days that followed, I started hearing that sentence in everything. In the way she sighed when I walked into a room, in how she complained whenever I asked for help, in the impatient look on her face when I tried to talk about my day. I felt too big for that house, too big for the space they gave me, yet too small to be respected. When I made a mistake, it was because I was a problem. When I did something right, it was because I had done nothing more than my obligation. I lived trying to prove I wasn't a burden. I did more, gave in more, swallowed everything. Until the day I came home exhausted, after a difficult week, and asked for something simple. Understanding. She laughed. Said I always dramatized things, that no one had time to deal with my emotions. Then she repeated, almost bored, "You've always been like this. An emotional burden." Something in me hardened. It wasn't anger, it was clarity. I started observing instead of reacting. I noticed how comfortable she was diminishing me, how I existed there only as an emotional outlet. And I realized I had been begging for love in a place where there was only control. That Sunday, while she listed everything I was trouble for, I stood up from the table. She looked confused and asked where I was going. I said I needed to breathe. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. For the first time, I didn't beg. The following week, I began to pull away emotionally. I spoke less, expected less. She noticed, tried to provoke me, said I was being cold. I simply agreed. Today, I still talk to her. I still visit. But I no longer explain myself. I don't try to make myself lighter to fit. I understand now that I'm not a burden. I was just carrying a pain that was never mine. "No one would miss you," my brother said. He said it laughing, leaning against my bedroom door, as if it were just another casual comment. In that moment, everything became clear. He was the one who hurt me. What he did was reduce my existence to nothing, and that changed everything, because I had always believed that, at least there, I mattered. We grew up together, but we were never close. He was always the confident one, the praised one. I was the quiet one, the one who didn't cause trouble, or at least tried not to. When I started going through a difficult phase, I thought I could count on him. I told him I felt lonely. He rolled his eyes and said I was dramatic, that no one would even notice if I disappeared for a while. I laughed on the outside. On the inside, something sank. For days, that sentence echoed in my head. No one would miss you. I started wondering if it was true. I noticed how no one asked how I was, how my messages went unanswered, how my presence was always optional. The more I tried to get closer, the more he pulled away. He began using me as a joke in front of others. Subtle comments, but sharp. I felt small, invisible. Until the day I heard him telling a friend that I was the sensitive one in the family, the one no one took seriously. I was standing in the hallway. He didn't see me. That was when something shifted. I didn't confront him then. I went home and started doing something I had never done before, building a life without waiting for his validation. I stopped sharing. I stopped asking for his opinion. I stopped trying to be included. Months later, he noticed, tried to joke like before. I didn't laugh. He asked what had changed. I told the truth. I'm tired of trying to exist for you. He had no answer. Today, he still thinks I pulled away out of pride. The truth is simpler. He said no one would miss me. I decided to stop offering my presence to someone who didn't value it. Don't come back, my father said, standing in the doorway without even looking me in the eyes. The words were dry, direct, and echoed inside me for days. He had always been like that. Authoritarian. Few words. Little affection. I grew up trying to earn a gesture, a compliment, any sign of approval. That night, we argued. I didn't yell. I didn't disrespect him. I simply questioned one of his decisions. That was enough. He said it was his house, that I was always causing problems, and then said, "If you leave now, don't come back." So I left. At first, I thought he would call, that it was just momentary pride. I spent the night awake, waiting for a message. It never came. Not the next day, not the next week. The absence hurt more than the words. I realized that to him, I was disposable as soon as I stopped obeying. I started remembering all the times I felt inadequate, how he always compared me, how my silence was more valued than my opinion. After a few months, he sent a short message asking when I would return. He didn't apologize. He didn't explain anything. I stared at the screen for a long time, thought about everything that house represented, thought about myself, shrinking, trying to be accepted. I replied that I wouldn't be coming back. It wasn't easy. It still hurts. I still miss the father I wish I had had. But I chose not to return to a place where my presence was conditioned on obedience. Today, I move forward with a wound that heals slowly, but with something new. The certainty that I no longer need permission to exist.